from a place we're not allowed to reveal. It's the Tom Leykis Show. Yes. And now, here he is, Tom Leykis.
Thank you for tuning into the Tom Leykis Show. This is where America gets together to talk about the issues you really care about. It's a different kind of radio talk program. We're the radio talk show that is not hosted by a right-wing wacko or a convicted felon. No. I am your host. Write down our telephone number. You're going to need it. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. Here we are together again on the radio. You heard it here first. We told you this was coming. We told you this was happening. We predicted it would happen before, I think even before the company knew that it was going to happen. And now it's happening. And there's a big grin on my face because once again, had you tuned in here, had you paid attention to what your genial host was telling you, you'd be ahead of the curve. This from, by the way, this story will be everywhere, but this version of it comes from MSNBC.com. Starbucks Corporation says that it has drastically increased the number of stores it plans to close. And Starbucks could eliminate as many as 12,000 part and full-time positions as a result. Get this. The company now says that it plans to close 600 company-operated stores in the United States alone, up from its previous plans that they had announced to close only 100 stores. 600 Starbucks are closing. Starbucks' previous target was to open 250 more stores in the coming fiscal year. Now they're going to open fewer than 200. And that fiscal year begins September 29th of this year. Says here in a filing with the Securities and Exchange Commission, the company said the job cuts represent about 7% of Starbucks' global workforce. Still, Starbucks said it expects many workers to find jobs in nearby stores. Huh. Why is that? Why haven't you hired those people already? You tell me you had all these unfilled jobs at some of the Starbucks, so you're going to close 600 of them? And people can walk across the street to the other Starbucks, start working there? Doesn't make any sense. Says here the Seattle-based gourmet coffee retailer said in a conference call with analysts that the stores it decided to close were not profitable. Did you know that there were at least 600 Starbucks stores that are not profitable? You probably thought they're all making money hand over fist. And it says here many had opened in the last few years. In addition, Chief Financial Officer Pete Bosiat said the vast majority were located next to another Starbucks store. Says here the closures will account for 8% of all company-operated U.S. stores. Starbucks is closing 8% of all their U.S. stores. It will leave the company with about 6,600 U.S. outlets, Bosian said. He said the store's closings will begin in late July and are expected to happen over a period of months. There are currently more than 1,600 Starbucks stores worldwide. Starbucks, known for sometimes going so far as to open stores across the street from one another, has recently acknowledged that it may have lost some of its luster. Oh, really? During a long period of rapid store openings and expansion into everything from breakfast sandwiches to movie promotions. Well, how about the fact that we're going through a recession, you morons? How about the fact that people can't put gas in their car? How about the fact that people are losing their jobs? How about the fact that a $5 cup of coffee is, well, passé? It's so 90s. Who is paying $5 for a cup of coffee anymore? Who's doing it? Less and less people, apparently. The story goes on to say earlier this year, Starbucks chairman Howard Schultz returned to the chief executive position, and the company vowed to make major changes, including plans to bring in new products, the introduction of a new, smoother coffee blend that is now served at most stores, probably so they can taste more like McDonald's, which got a superior rating from Consumer Reports magazine, and a decision to stop offering breakfast sandwiches. Starbucks also has conceded that it has not been immune to the weak U.S. economy with high food and gas prices, which, oh, here it is, has made $4 coffee drinks less palatable for many Americans. You bet. Says here, senior stock analyst John Owens with Morningstar said he thinks Starbucks probably didn't anticipate how it would be impacted by a down economy. And he said the company may have also made poor real estate decisions in its go-go growth period. Still, he thought Starbucks has been smart not to blame its problems simply on hard economic times. Owens said investors don't like companies to blame their results on the economy, on weather, on things that are outside of their control. So I think it's important that they acknowledge that they had a hand in this, that mistakes were made. Well, thinking that people would buy a $4 cup of coffee if the economy suffered was a big mistake. I'll tell you right now. Says here, still Starbucks also won't be immune to the country's current economic problems. Owen said he thinks Starbucks has made a lot of positive changes in the past few months, but its turnaround plan is not yet guaranteed to succeed. He said, I think they have the right strategy. It's a matter of executing the strategy, and then, of course, the economy will play a role here as well. Starbucks said that it expects pre-tax charges of between $328 million and $348 million related to the store closures. But because of tax benefits, the company said it expects to see total cash outflow of about $100 million as a result. The charges will include about $8 million in severance charges. All of that, a bunch of business gobbledygook, just to tell you that Starbucks is shrinking. And my prediction, I'm not an expert. I'm not an analyst. I've just been right about a lot of things. That 10 years from now, Starbucks will be a brand name in somebody else's store. You'll see Starbucks coffee at Burger King, or Wendy's proudly brewing Starbucks coffee, and there will come a day when there'll be no Starbucks stores. The whole idea of a barista and a coffee shop, it's going down the tubes. This idea of going in and spending that kind of money on a cup of coffee, it's going away. It's going away. Business like that is never going to survive hard economic times, and that's what we're going through right now, hard economic times. Starbucks is not going to survive that. Starbucks is a frill. It was always a joke. It was always preposterous. And so were the people who bowed at the altar of Starbucks, many of whom now had to scamper like rats jumping a sinking ship. How many of you now are going to Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's for coffee? The fact is, McDonald's had better coffee than Starbucks for a long time, but nobody would want to be seen with a McDonald's cup. When a recession kicks in, when hard economic times kick in, suddenly it's not chic to be seen at Starbucks. You know where it's going to be chic to be seen? McDonald's. Where you can get a 99-cent double cheeseburger and a $1 coffee that tastes better than Starbucks. That's where people are going to be seen. And they'll be proud of it. Starbucks, a joke, a remnant of the past, going downhill fast. Am I wrong?
Tom Leykis. 1-800 1-800-5800-TOM.
I think that you suck what you say about marriage, and it sucks that you're persuading all of these men all over the world who listen to your show to not want to get married.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Oh, yeah. The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Starbucks announcing now it's not going to close 200 stores in the United States. Or 250 stores. Now they say they're going to close 600 stores. And lose about 8% of all U.S. stores in total. Wow, wow, wow. But anybody sorry to hear that? Anybody surprised? Not me. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Robert on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, Tom. First of all, huge fan. Second of all, you know what? I think I'm glad to see these companies go down because you know what? It's fiscal irresponsibility, and it's our city officials, government officials, doesn't matter, Democrats or Republicans, it's just fiscal irresponsibility.
Well, this is not a government agency. This is a private company.
Oh, no. I totally understand that, but the economy is due to that, you know, our leaders that are fiscally irresponsible, and Starbucks, from what you said earlier, definitely has, you know, the right step by blaming themselves because that's who you got to look at. And like I said, I'm glad to see these 90 hellhole Starbucks things because this is just awful having people just go and hang out there. It's like, go find a job, you bum.
Yeah, but what's even better is the Starbucks you go into these days where there's nobody hanging out there.
Oh yeah, and you know, I'm a huge fan of McDonald's coffee. Oh, my God. That's far better.
And by the way, Consumer Reports agrees with you. Consumer Reports rated McDonald's coffee number one. Number one.
Oh, have you tried it, Tom?
I have tried it, and, you know, the fact is that I don't go to Starbucks for drip coffee anyway. I never really did. So I don't even know if I could compare it. I've drunk a lot more coffee at McDonald's than Starbucks.
Oh, yes, I hear you on that. And you know what, Tom, real quick, from Leykis 101, you're giving these guys way too long, 3 dates to get the panties. You have 1 day to do it, and I'm a long-time listener since 99. I give them 1 date. That's it. None of this 3 dates. If they don't want to give me the panties in the first date, out the door.
Good for you. Good for you. Mike on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing?
Great.
Man, I'm on the same page as you with the Starbucks. I saw this coming from a long shot. If I'm not mistaken, the same thing happened to Krispy Kreme a while back. Like, they built too many stores and just started losing money.
And you know what? Krispy Kreme is from that same era.
Wow.
In the 90s, remember?
Yep.
It was the 90s.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, there was a Krispy Kreme around where I live, near Cerritos, and I hadn't seen it I haven't been out there in years, and recently I went out there, and it was an Arby's. But this, I don't know, it threw me out. Krispy Kreme turned into an Arby's. It's probably the same thing's going to happen with Starbucks.
Well, that's what I think.
Different.
The day will come that when they talk about the bad real estate deals they did, the day will come, Starbucks will survive as a brand name. So you'll go into Wendy's. It'll say, proudly brewing Starbucks coffee. But there won't be any stores. It'll be a brand name. Or they'll be selling Starbucks in the supermarket next to Maxwell House. That's what will happen one day.
Yeah, and there's just way too many close by. There's one a block away from my house, and also there's one like maybe 3 blocks away from that Starbucks going in a different direction. It's just ridiculous.
Now, I agree with you.
All right. Tom, can you take me out with a Compton style with a Mexican scream at the end?
Here you go, Mike. What was that? All right. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's Carl on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. Carl.
Doing great. How you doing, man?
Okay.
Hey, I was just an observation. I'm out on the road a lot for my work, and I stop into Starbucks because there's one on every corner, but not necessarily for the coffee. I'm in there for, nowadays for the air condition and the free restroom. And one of the things I've noticed is I've seen a lot more people come up in line. Instead of ordering their $5 latte, they're ordering ice water so they can walk around with their plastic cup. I saw people walking around with that, at least 2 or 3, and just today alone, out of about 4 people, 2 people asked for ice water, and I think that's kind of a trophy thing for the girls. They kind of walk around with the Starbucks cup there. I think
that is outrageous. That is outrageous. I just want the people who are doing that to know nobody is impressed that you're walking around with a Starbucks cup, okay?
Exactly.
Nobody is impressed.
They're trying too hard.
That's like the people with the I Heart New York bumper stickers on their cars. Nobody is impressed.
Exactly. All right, Tom, blow me up, man.
Here you go, baby. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Todd on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Todd.
It couldn't happen to a nicer company. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
I've seen this coming for a while. They just opened a Starbucks up by my house, and there is nobody in there. I mean, it is empty all the time.
Yeah, but there's tumbleweeds going through there.
Yeah. I mean, it's just one thing that I just never got, Tom. I just never caught on to the Starbucks thing. And every time I see people going in there, standing in line all the way out the door to get those $5 cups of coffee, what a joke.
I don't stand in line for anything.
No.
The minute people are standing in line...
coffee.
I don't stand in line to wait to get into nightclubs. I don't stand in line to see movies.
Oh, no.
You're just being used.
Yeah. One of my friends, he still goes there. He goes there every single morning on the way to work, and he orders a cup of coffee from there, and if it isn't like, he said, 190 degrees, perfect temperature, he takes it back and all this other crap. I said, you got to be kidding me. What a joke. So...
Yeah, well, when I see people at the airport waiting in line at Starbucks or in Las Vegas, in the lobby of the MGM Grand, where the prices are way higher for Starbucks than any place I've seen, and the lines are snaking through the lobby. These people are insane. You're nuts. You are nuts.
Oh, yeah. Just fold and go away is all I got to say about them.
But what's happening is less and less people are doing it, and even if we don't believe it because we still see lines, Starbucks knows, and that's why they're closing 600 stores.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't wait for the day to see them close when I heard the news about them not supporting our troops. Did you hear that story?
No.
Yeah, I guess about a year ago I heard this on the news. Most of our troops over there, I guess they contacted Starbucks, the officials over there, asked them to donate some coffee for the troops over in Iraq, and they refused them. They totally refused them and said, we're not supporting the war in Iraq. We will not send you any coffee.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. I said, you know what? I can't wait for the day that company folds up. They got what's coming to them.
The troops had nothing to do with deciding where to go to war.
Oh, yeah. At least send them some coffee, help the people out, make them feel at home,
Absolutely.
Hey, Tom, take me out with a bong rip and then blow me up, would you?
Here you go, baby. One 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Here's Alfonso on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Alfonso.
Yeah, quick comment before I get to the Starbucks thing. I'd just like to say that I'm gladly holding up my cell phone to my mouth as I drive through the heart of Fullerton right now, as I just got off the freeway.
Look at you, another civil disobedient.
Exactly. But anyway, getting back to Starbucks here, I kind of saw this coming probably, I would say a year ago, was the day when they started selling breakfast in their stores. And the thing is, I'll gladly take this freeze-dried, fancy Egg McMuffin that you probably prepared for some astronaut in space, yet you're going to charge me $3.50 for it?
By the way, what people didn't notice And I know about it because I've read about it in many business publications. At the same time they were making breakfast sandwiches, do you know what they did to their coffee, which was like the reason for going to Starbucks? Instead of grinding it, remember they would grind those beans in the store?
Yeah,
they started serving coffee concentrate that would be mixed with hot water.
Oh, that's basically mud right there.
Yeah, so you were not getting, this is what they do in hotel cafeterias, that you were not getting the Starbucks coffee you were getting before.
Might as well just get a teaspoonful of dirt from the ground and serve it right up.
Outrageous.
Hey, Todd, can you blow me up? Actually, can you take me out old school?
Of course I can. Here you go, Alfonso. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mark.
Real quick, just want to let you know you make the world a better place to live in, buddy.
Well, thank you for that.
I was talking to you, your screener earlier, and you asked me what I know about Starbucks. I was telling him, well, I live in a small little town, and, you know, California's been growing rapidly. And when I go into town to work, I notice, you know, people moving around and going to Starbucks all the time. Then another Starbucks pops up another block down the street. And then another one, I'm like, okay, gotta go home. Next thing I know, right around the corner, some development starts going. Here comes the local Stater Brothers, along with the Starbucks. I said, oh, my God, they made it to me. so no big deal. But one thing that really disgusts me about Starbucks, I mean, it really hit home one day when one Sunday I went over to make some breakfast. So, you know, I went to go grab a few things. And there they are about 8:30 in the morning, 3 to 4 grown men, probably about, I don't know, 40, 50 years old. And they're out there dressed like they're like 23 years old, like it's like the in thing to do. I'm all like, Jesus Christ, but you guys got something else better to, like, be at home resting on a Sunday? I said, oh, my God. Look at the, and I was literally disgusted that I had to crack open a beer about 9 o'clock in the morning. Just my stomach was hurting. I go, man, these places are out of control. I mean, they're everywhere. Yeah, and then these men, like I said, they had to be around the area. I mean, once that Starbucks came in, let's do the in thing. Let's jump on board and let's support. Oh, by the way, let's go sit out in my nice little jeans that it probably cost them $100 and they're like worn out. And they're sitting out there in their shirt all, you know, open and their hair is spiked up. I'm like, how old are you guys? And what are you doing with Starbucks? I mean, what is it about Starbucks that gets these people to do this?
Well, that's the thing. I've never understood why Starbucks is any cachet. These stores are not special places. They are spaces in shopping malls, strip malls, they're storefronts. And the idea that anybody would want to put their feet up and sit in there for any period of time is just laughable to me.
Yeah, well, that's right. I mean, when I saw I saw the bimbo.
How bad is your life that you have to spend time, you leave your home, where you would presumably be the most comfortable, and you hop on over to Starbucks and sit there listening to that reggae, world music, whatever they play in there, and drink a $5 cup of coffee and a $7 scone? I don't understand it.
Well, like I said, when I see the bimbos go in there, that's one thing, and the kids. But when I saw these grown men, probably contractors, hey, let's go do the in thing, and let's hang outside with a nice little, we got our money, and the best thing that we can do on a Sunday is hang out at Starbucks. Like, yeah, like, we're plugged in with the new world. I'm like, what?
Oh, man, you're killing me with this, Mark. Michael on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tom. How are you?
Doing great.
Well, Starbucks is, I don't know if anybody, if you're aware of this, Starbucks is opening a merchandise store. They opened it 2 weeks ago at the Ontario Mills in Ontario, California, on the south side of the mall. And they're selling CDs, cups, books, shirts, anything they can't sell in the stores anymore, Christmas stuff. They're all being merchandised.
Oh, so wait a minute. There's a Starbucks outlet at the Ontario Mills Mall?
An outlet store, a merchant, yeah. It's crazy.
And you can buy Paul McCartney CDs and
all the
copies of Aquila and the Bee.
Everything. It's crazy. and they have 2 Starbucks stores in the mall and 2 on the outlining strip malls in that same mall.
Yes. Yes, well, I was telling somebody the other day, I went to a Starbucks, and I was waiting in line for a long time, and by the time I got my coffee, I had to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. You know what was inside that men's room?
What?
Another Starbucks. There was a barista in there wanting to know what I wanted, taking my order.
I just want to let you know the hilarity of Starbucks. It's good that they're finally realizing they just way too much too soon. Can you take me out toilet style?
I certainly can.
Thank you, sir.
Toilet style, here you go.
Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
I have no complaints. She was wild and crazy. She wouldn't say no to anything because
really?
She was married.
Like a guy.
Yeah.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. That is our telephone number. And we do like to not only keep the information on the show that's presented as information to be accurate, but there are many of these internet rumors that float around. They get phoned into talk shows. And there's no evidence that Starbucks made any declaration that they're opposed to the war in Iraq and that therefore they would not donate coffee. It's not true. Not true, according to Snopes.com, and that's the website that checks out internet rumors. So I thank the listeners who sent me this link, and I looked it up, and there it is. So while I'm not a fan of Starbucks, I'm not looking to beat them with any lie that somebody has put out on the internet, any rumors. They will sink of their own weight. That's my prediction. 1-800-5800-TOM. We're talking about Starbucks announcing that they're closing 600 stores, 600 of them. What do you think about that? Kenny on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Kenny.
How are you, sir?
Great.
Tom, just a quick observation. I've heard from financial planners, and I've actually seen it in a book, that to increase your monthly income, you stop your habit of Starbucks.
That's like the first, well, put it this way. They first recommend cigarettes if you're a cigarette smoker.
Right.
Then they move to Starbucks.
Yeah, it's a popular thing to do to increase your income.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. By the way, I was once with a chick, and we had a relationship. And she was spending, I can't even tell you how much she was spending on Starbucks. She had one of those Starbucks cards. She would recharge it all the time.
Uh-huh.
So everyone thought I was crazy when I bought a $1,500 automatic one-touch espresso maker. But it paid for itself in a year.
That's amazing.
And that's been 5 years, and I still have it.
Does anyone know what the average habit is for a Starbucks person?
I'm sure Starbucks knows because they have those Starbucks cards and the amount of the average purchase and all that. But my ex used to spend about $50 a week. Because you don't just buy that $5 cup of coffee. Oh, I'll take a scone. Oh, I'll take some crumble cake. Oh, I'll take some Ghirardelli chocolate there. You know, so the bill ends up being like $8 or $9 every time you go in.
Times that by, 10, 15 times a month at a minimum.
Oh, no. She was my ex was going in every weekday. Monday through Friday.
Sorry to hear that, pal.
Hey, I stopped it. I bought the coffee maker. And I said, you got coffee. You do not need to go. You want to tell you what, you want to have coffee with your friend, tell her to come here and sit at our table.
Thank you, Tom.
I'm here to help, Kenny. Thank you for the call. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Andy on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How are you?
Hi. Good.
Hey, I've been listening to your show for about 3 years, and I truly enjoy it.
Thank you.
And I thought I'd give you a call and give you the coffee business from a perspective of a guy that owns one.
Yes, sir.
I own a coffee distribution business, and I sell coffee to about 100 restaurants in Southern California. And my business is down 40% for the second quarter from the first quarter this year already.
And you're not even Starbucks. You're just selling premium coffee beans.
Yeah, I'm a wholesaler, and boy, I'll tell you, I'm seeing it everywhere, whether it be coffee bars, white tablecloth restaurants, high-end car washes. People are just cutting the frills out of their life, and coffee is a frill.
No doubt about it.
The other thing I see is the espresso beans that go into the espresso machines to make the $3 and $4 cups of coffee, like you said.
Yeah.
My sales of the espresso are way down, but the drip coffee sales have replaced that because they'd rather pay the $1.50 or $1.80 versus the $3.50 and $4 a cup, like you said.
Yeah.
And you also did something real smart. You bought an espresso machine for your house. I see people going back into the grocery store and grinding their own beans and bringing coffee home instead of going out to the Starbucks and so forth.
Yeah, I mean, really, look, you buy a machine for $1,500 or $1,000, it sounds like a lot of money. But if you're spending $50 a week,
right,
in 20 weeks, you've broken even.
Exactly. And your price point is right on target. You got to spend about $1,500 for a decent espresso machine, not $200 or $300. Those are throwaway machines.
Right. These are the one-touch machines. You pour the beans in, you pour the water, you put water in for like 3 or 4 days worth.
Right.
And you press one button and you get as good a cup of coffee or better than you'd ever get at Starbucks.
Absolutely. Thanks a lot, Tom. Blow me up.
Here you go, baby. 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Jack on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. How you doing, man?
I'm okay.
And I just want to let you know that you're doing a great thing right there on the radio and that you're like a father to me.
Why, thank you.
No problem. Anyways, I just wanted to bring something to your attention. I don't know if it's been brought up, but I really hate the people who go to Starbucks to do their homework. Like, it's actually a quiet place to chill and concentrate on work. Well, you know, it just doesn't make sense. They look cooler just because they're, you know, at Starbucks doing their work. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah. Well, you should. Yeah. Here's a quiet place. Here's a quiet place. Archie, did you order the Frappuccino? Archie.
You know, I mean,
Jennifer,
seriously.
I have a mocha. Come on.
I mean, seriously, and I don't know if you noticed too, but I mean, I purchased, you know, coffee there before, and I took the time, you know, to sit down and have, you know, enjoy my coffee, and they charged me like, I'm not too sure, but they charged me just to stay there and hang out and drink my own coffee that I paid for. They charged me just to be in there. It's on the receipt and everything. It totally blew my mind. I don't know what the hell's going on now, you know? And it's like, geez, I mean, you know, you have to pay to be there. And, you know, you want to do your homework there and everything like that. It just doesn't make sense. I mean,
but not to mention the fact, that people have gotten this dopey idea that this storefront in a strip mall is like a place to be.
You know, like, come on, seriously. Like, coffee is not that cool, you know? Like, seriously, get a life.
Everybody drinks it.
You know? Oh, my God. But anyways, you know, it just blows my mind. I'm seriously like, you know, I'm going to go hang out in Starbucks later, you know, see who I can meet and stuff. But it just makes no sense to me. It just, you know, I don't get it. I don't get why you would stay at a coffee shop for 2 hours, supposedly getting, you know, your reports done or whatever you need to do. It just doesn't make no sense to me. You know,
there's a Starbucks located, it's like 8th and Montana in Santa Monica.
Right.
And I went in there one morning and they're a Wi-Fi hotspot. And some wannabe mogul of something is sitting there with his laptop going, talking very loudly on his cell phone, like doing deals.
Right.
Yeah,
oh
I think that works for me. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, look at the numbers right here.
Tom, believe it or not, I took my friend to the unemployment office in East L.A., where there's also a Washington Mutual right below it. Guess what else was right there? Starbucks under the unemployment office inside of a bank. I mean, come on, seriously, you're getting the rich people and you're getting the low lives. Come on, you know? Like, seriously, come on. You guys, like, have no sympathy or no grief. I mean, come on. Why would you put it right under an unemployment office and inside of a bank, you know?
Because I think deadbeats need their cup of coffee in the morning.
Yeah, basically, and they're going to chill with their little handheld gadgets and, you know, just work away right there, right? Trying to look for a job at Starbucks.
That's right.
You know, but, hey, like I said, you're like a father to me. I love what you're doing. I'm listening 100%. And if you could take me out with a bong hit, I'd be much obliged.
I certainly can, Jack. One 800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello here to John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. I actually like Starbucks. I think it's delicious coffee. I think it's quality coffee. It's way better than 7-Eleven or McDonald's.
Well, again, just so you know, Consumer Reports magazine doesn't think so. They rated McDonald's coffee #1 and ahead of Starbucks.
Yeah, but basing that because McDonald's is $1 and Starbucks is $1.80, it's like...
No, they did a taste test. I have it right here in front of me, as a matter of fact.
Well, I don't know who was tasting it, but I'm sure I could tell a blind test of a difference between, like, Sumatra and your typical McDonald's blend. But I mean, I don't have anything against Starbucks, or I'm not for it, and it's oversaturated, and as the economy changed, just like a lot of people have said, that, you know, you're going to cut out luxury items. But it does drive me nuts when you say $5 cup of coffee at Starbucks, because that's not accurate.
It is accurate. We're not talking about, indeed, we're not talking about drip coffee. But if you, the total cost of a cup of a caramel macchiato or a cappuccino, if you add in, of course, sales tax and whatever else goes with it, it's $5.
But that's not coffee. Coffee's $1.80 at Starbucks.
Again, but you're talking about drip coffee only. You know, most people who go to Starbucks don't order drip coffee.
Yeah, but they're ordering high-class caffeine delivery systems.
Whatever they're ordering, they are not ordering what you order. Less than 20% of the customers at Starbucks order drip coffee.
I just don't think of it as coffee. I think of it as food.
Well, I don't care what you think of it as. The average customer does think of it as coffee and spends $5 to get a cup of it.
I still like Starbucks, Pete's, and Coffee Bean. You're never going to tell me that McDonald's and 7-Eleven are better. And
I don't know if you've tasted it. McDonald's changed its coffee at some point in the last couple of years. It's not what they were serving in the 60s. McDonald's now serves premium coffee. They do.
It's okay. It's not as good as...
Have you tasted it in the last year or two?
No. In the last couple of months. It was okay. It wasn't great. But once again, you know, the market is changing and Starbucks happens to be spread too thin. I don't think they're a bad company. And I was going to comment that guy...
No, they're a mismanaged company for sure. They way overextended themselves, way overexpanded, got into too many businesses. What are they doing in the record business, the movie business, the clothing business?
I guess they thought it was going to pay off for them.
I know what they thought, but that's the very essence of bad management. That they thought something was going to pay off, and it was a bad idea. Breakfast sandwiches. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Actually, I think they had a really good business plan in as much as they tend to own a lot of those strip malls.
Well, then why are they changing it? Why does it say that they made bad real estate deals? Why? Why does it say that?
Is it because Schultze left the company?
I don't know what the reason is, but this is what they're saying now, and that's why they're closing 600 stores.
Oh, I know. They overextended themselves. It just comes down to that.
But beyond overextending themselves, they not only built too many stores, they get into too many businesses that they had no business being in, that they didn't understand.
But does that make them, like, evil or just, you know...
it's not evil. Krispy Kreme wasn't evil. It was just a joke that it was that popular, and you knew it couldn't last. And the same thing is true with Starbucks. Gotta run. Thank you for the call. Our email address is my name. It's Tom at blowmeuptom.com. You got that? Tom at blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.